Terrified male order bride's life changed forever when 5-year-old asked, "Will you be my mama?" Elena stepped off the bus, her heart pounding in her chest. The small town of Maplewood stretched before her, quaint but guarded. She clutched her duffel bag tightly, as though it could shield her from the stares that followed her every move. The townsfolk whispered among themselves, their skepticism palpable. This was America, her new home, and she felt like an outsider in a land draped in judgment. The sky overhead was bright, yet the weight of leaving her family behind lingered heavily on her shoulders. The first days passed in a blur. Jack, her new husband, was kind, with calloused hands that told stories of hard work and a smile that softened her fears. Yet, the joy he found in their life on the farm was lost on Elena. Every time she struggled to understand the rhythms of country life, she felt an alienation that deepened like a well. She missed the bustle of her hometown, the warmth of her parents, and the comfort of familiarity. Every curious glance from passers-by made her feel as though she was wearing a sign that screamed outsider. One sunny afternoon, she found herself rearranging Jack's humble home, trying to weave her essence into the walls. As she sorted through the clutter, a giggle caught her attention. Outside, Jack's effervescent 5-year-old daughter, Anna, played alone in the yard, her laughter lightening the air. Intrigued, Elena watched as the girl twirled in circles, sunshine kissing her hair. It was pure innocence, a carefree spirit untouched by the harshness of the world. Then, Anna turned, her eyes bright with curiosity. "Will you be my mama?" she asked, arms wide open as if offering Elena a place to land. The question pierced through Elena's defenses, melting her apprehensions. In that moment, everything shifted. A wave of longing washed over her, a wish to be the mother Anna deserved, and to fill the emptiness within herself. But doubts rushed in just as quickly. Could she be a mother to this sweet girl when she felt like an alien in her life? Elena struggled with the request as the ordinary life of Maplewood unfolded around them. The whispers among the townsfolk grew, tainted by their apprehensions. Some recalled their own struggles, their voices soaked with bias toward the new bride who dared to step into their world. But in the small, shared moments of play, Elena felt a spark of hope illuminate the shadows that had threatened to consume her. The annual Harvest Festival came alive with music and laughter, but tension lurked beneath the joyous facade. When a local boy shouted, "You shouldn't be playing with her. She is not like us," Anna froze, fear flashing across her little face. The weight of his words hung in the air like a storm cloud. Elena's heart clenched as Anna turned to her, confused and upset. It felt like a challenge not just to her identity, but to the burgeoning bond they shared. Caught in the crosshairs of judgment, Elena realized she had a choice. Would she let the doubts of Maplewood suffocate her hope, or would she embrace the love blossoming between her and Anna? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As the music swelled, Elena closed her eyes, feeling the weight of the moment hang in the air. The festival churned around her, with laughter mingling with her racing heart. Could she show Maplewood that love doesn't discriminate? Could she become the chosen mother for Anna amidst the throes of doubt? With determination igniting within, she took a breath, ready to stand for a love that defied all odds. What would the townsfolk think? And could she truly find a place in a town so fast to judge? Elena took a deep breath and stepped forward, her heart racing with purpose. She glanced at Anna, whose innocent eyes were wide with confusion. A sudden wave of resolve washed over her. She knew she had to protect this child from the hurtful words of others. "Come here, sweetheart," she said gently, extending her hand to Anna. The girl hesitated for a moment, clearly battling her fears, but then she ran into Elena's arms. The warmth of Anna's small body filled Elena with a fierce determination to fight against the judgments swirling around them. With Anna nestled close, Elena turned to face the boy who had spoken, and she felt the eyes of the entire festival on her. "You're wrong," she said, her voice steady. "Love knows no boundaries, no color, no language, and certainly no pasts. This little girl is brave enough to let me into her heart, and that means more than you could imagine. A murmur spread through the crowd. Some faces softened, while others hardened with disbelief. Jack emerged from the crowd, his eyes searching Elena's, filled with concern and pride. "Hey, everyone," he called out, his voice booming like a clarion call. "Let us remember that this is a time for celebration, not division. We've all come together as a community, so let us uplift each other." Elena's heart soared at Jack's words. He stood firmly beside her, giving her the strength to continue. She shifted her focus back to Anna, now looking up at her with admiration. "You know what we should do?" she asked, a smile spreading across her face. "Let us show everyone just how much fun we can have together." Anna's face lit up, her earlier fears dissipating. "Can we get cotton candy?" she asked eagerly, her little fingers gripping Elena's hand tighter. "Of course. And maybe we can even enter the pie-eating contest?" Elena replied, her excitement building as she embraced Anna's joyous spirit. Together, they wove their way through the festival, laughter bubbling between them. As they stopped at various booths, Elena noticed some townsfolk watch them with changing expressions. Curiosity slowly replaced suspicion. A woman from the market approached, hesitantly at first, clutching homemade cookies. "I saw what you did back there," the woman said. "It took courage. Here, I made these for you." She held out a plate, her smile tentative yet warm. "Thank you," Elena said, her voice breaking slightly. This simple act of kindness filled her heart with hope. Perhaps there was a way to bridge the gap between her and the townspeople, but not everyone was warming up to her. The boy who had spoken earlier sullenly watched from a distance, arms crossed defiantly. Deep down, Elena felt the weight of his judgment and the weight of others like him. She yearned for acceptance, but would she ever truly belong? As the day wore on and they shared cotton candy and laughter, Elena felt something unexpected shift within her. With each passing moment, her confidence grew, knowing she was not just defending herself, but also standing up for Anna. Their bond deepened, filled with shared smiles and unspoken promises to be by the time the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. The festival transformed into a dusky garden of possibilities. Elena found herself whispering a silent promise into the night. She would fight for this connection for Anna, for them both. Yet, as they prepared to leave, Elena noticed the boy linger near the entrance, his eyes locked onto her. What would it take for him to understand that love was louder than prejudice? The road ahead was uncertain, filled with whispers and judgments, but one thing was clear. She wouldn't back down. "Tomorrow, Anna," she said softly as they walked home, "let's practice making cookies together. I want to share them with the town." Anna nodded enthusiastically, but a flicker of worry crossed her small face. "What if they don't want to eat our cookies?" she questioned innocently. "Then we'll keep baking until they do," Elena replied. Determination set like steel in her voice as they reached the farmhouse. The enormity of their journey loomed ahead. Would Maplewood embrace them? And could their bond withstand the storms of doubt? Elena felt a rush of excitement mixed with fear, knowing tomorrow's plan would be a pivotal moment in their lives. But tomorrow also held its own unanswered questions. Would the townsfolk open their hearts, or would resentment reign once more? The sun peeked over the horizon, splashing the farmhouse with soft golden light. Elena awoke early, her mind racing with last night's events and what today would bring. She could hear Anna softly humming in her room, and the sound warmed her heart. It was a small reminder that they were embarking on this journey together. Elena took a deep breath and stretched, shaking off the remnants of sleep. Today wasn't just about baking cookies. It was a bold step towards building a bridge in a community that had, only yesterday, seemed so unwelcoming. She could almost feel the townsfolk's anticipation buzzing in the air. With renewed energy, she made her way to Anna's room. "Rise and shine, chef," she called, poking her head inside. Anna grinned, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Are we really going to make cookies?" Anna bounced on her bed, her joy infectious. "Absolutely. Let us make the best cookies Maplewood has ever tasted," Elena replied, her voice brimming with enthusiasm. They moved to the kitchen, the sun streaming through the windows, filling the space with warmth. Elena gathered the ingredients: flour, sugar, eggs, everything needed for their sweet creation. As she measured and mixed, the scent of vanilla and butter began to fill the air. Anna watched in awe, her tiny hands clutching a mixing spoon. "Can I help?" she asked, her face lighting up with hope. "Of course. You can add the chocolate chips," Elena said, encouragingly pointing to the bag. Anna reached for it, her fingers almost trembling in eagerness. "More chocolate chips means more happiness, right?" Anna giggled, pouring in a generous portion. "Exactly. A little extra love never hurts," Elena added, both of them laughing, the sound echoing through the room. With the dough made, they rolled it into balls and placed them on a baking sheet. As they waited for the cookies to bake, Anna was filled with questions. "Do you think the boy from yesterday will come?" Elena's heart tightened. She hoped so, but uncertainty clawed at her. "I don't know, Anna, but today isn't just about him. It's about sharing what we've created together. It's about spreading joy," she replied, trying to instill courage in both of them. When the timer beeped, a wave of sweet aromas filled the farmhouse. They pulled the cookies from the oven, golden brown and soft. Elena felt a thrill shoot through her. Would the townsfolk see the love behind them? Would they accept this gesture as a bridge to greater understanding? As they let the cookies cool, Elena packed them in an old wicker basket. She turned to Anna, who was peeking at the treats with wide eyes. "Ready to face the world?" she asked. Anna swallowed hard but nodded. "As ready as I'll ever be." They set out towards town. Elena's heart pounded. Everywhere she looked, she saw signs of doubt mixed with hope. Would the people be willing to taste their cookies, to allow a smile to cross their faces? As they approached the town square, a few familiar faces turned to them, expressions varying from curiosity to apprehension. Just then, the boy from the festival stepped out from behind his mother, a mix of defiance and uncertainty in his expression. He stood there, watching. Elena met his gaze and felt the pressure of judgment, but also the spark of hope. "We brought cookies," she said, her voice ringing clear. "We'd love for everyone to try them. It's our way of saying we want to be part of this community." Silence fell for a moment, and then the crowd began to murmur. Would they step forward? Would they take a bite and let Elena and Anna into their hearts? Elena could see the boy debating, caught between childhood curiosity and his earlier disdain. She held her breath as all eyes fell on her and Anna, waiting for what would happen next. But the question lingered in the air like the sweet scent of cookies. Would they embrace her offer, or would doubts persist, casting a shadow over what could be? The silence stretched, thick and heavy. Elena's palms were sweaty against the wicker basket, her heart hammering in her chest as she met the boy's gaze. It felt like the whole world was on pause, every second spilling into eternity. In the crowd, people exchanged looks, some frowning, others whispering. "Are the cookies good?" A voice finally broke through, a hesitant question from an older woman at the back of the gathering. It was Mrs. Thompson, the town librarian, known for her stern exterior but an undeniable soft spot when it came to sweets. "Just try them." Anna piped up, her small voice breaking the tension. She took a step forward, her inherent courage bubbling to the surface. "They smell really, really good." Elena held her breath, studying the faces around her. A sliver of hope flickered in her chest. Could Anna's innocence turn the tide? Slowly, the boy stepped closer, his feet shuffling awkwardly. He eyed the basket, the tantalizing aroma wafting toward him like a promise. Finally, he swallowed hard and took a step into the group. Can I have one?" he asked, his voice a mix of timidness and excitement. The murmurs shifted to curiosity. Encouraged, Elena smiled gently. "Of course. Please, come and try them. We made them with love." She reached for the basket, pulling out a warm cookie, its edges slightly crisp and center gooey with melted chocolate. As she handed it to him, their fingers brushed lightly. In that brief moment, something unspoken passed between them, a shared understanding of beginnings, of fear, and the fragile hope that came with reaching out. The boy hesitated only a moment longer before he took a big bite. His eyes widened, the rich taste igniting a spark of joy on his face. "These are awesome," he exclaimed, laughter bursting forth. His delight seemed to ripple through the crowd. One by one, others stepped forward, drawn by the scent and the warmth of his reaction. Elena's heart danced in her chest as she began to serve cookie after cookie, hands stretching out towards her, laughter beginning to replace earlier apprehension. "Can I have another?" someone shouted, And another voice chimed in, "Me too." It was magical. For the first time, Elena felt there was real connection being forged. Seeing the children lights up with joy brought a spark of light deep within her. This was the start. But just then, she noticed a figure retreating to the back of the crowd, the flickering red hair unmistakable. It was the boy's mother, her face filled with uncertainty as she watched from a distance. Elena's heart sank a little. This was more than just about cookies. It was about the walls built by silence and doubt. The moment the children began laughing and joy seemed to spread was overshadowed by that one woman's hesitance. "Mom, you have to try," the boy called. He turned, trying to pull her forward, but she shook her head. Elena felt a pang of concern, wishing she could ease the apprehension looming over the mother. Taking a deep breath, Elena decided to be brave. "We want to be here," she called out, her voice steady despite the fear creeping up her spine. "We want to share our hearts and really be part of this community. It starts with cookies, but it doesn't stop there." The mother met her gaze, and for a brief, fleeting moment, Elena saw a flicker of something: curiosity, or perhaps an invitation to understand. Would she take that next step? The two stood there, separated by fears, but bound by the same human desire for connection. Anna, holding a cookie half her size, turned back to Elena. "Are we friends now, right?" she asked, her voice hopeful, a voice emboldening the moment. Elena smiled, shifting her gaze back to the boy and his mother. The bridge between them was slowly being built, block by block. But would they all cross it together? Before she could dwell on it longer, someone shouted from the crowd to try another cookie. The sounds of laughter swirled around her. But in the midst of joy, a shiver of anticipation settled deep in her chest. What would it take for the mother to join them? Would they stand together in the end, or would unspoken barriers remain? The questions buzzed, swelling with energy as the day unfolded. Elena felt the atmosphere shift as laughter echoed around her, but her eyes remained locked on the boy's mother. There was something powerful in the look. They shared an unbreakable thread of vulnerability, knitting them together amidst the bright chaos. "Come on, Mom," the boy urged again, his voice ringing with honesty and youthful determination. "It's really good. You'll like it." He bubbled with excitement and innocence that pulled at Elena's heart. For a moment, the mother's lips twitched, then flattened into a line. The tension in her shoulders was palpable. Brick by brick, Elena recognized the weight of her silent struggles. She wanted to reach out, to do something that could spark a change in the woman's heart. "Sometimes, it just takes one tiny step," Elena whispered to herself, though she wished the words were loud enough for the mother to hear. She could feel Anna's small hand clasp her own, squeezing it gently like a lifeline. "What if you sat down with us?" Elena suggested, her voice steady and soothing, even as the crowd went on with their sweet chaos. "It's nice when everyone can share together. Cookies are better as a team." Slowly, the mother took a hesitant step forward, her feet heavy as if they were anchored to the earth. The boy's eyes lit up, and he held out a cookie as if offering a piece of his heart. "See, just try it." Tension bubbled in the air, and everyone watched in anticipation, a hush falling over the group. The mother was a flower held tight in the cold. She needed warmth and sunshine to bloom. Finally, she let out a small sigh, a release of something tightly wound. The first step toward opening up. She moved toward the table, toward the boy's infectious enthusiasm. "Just one," she said softly, but her voice was laced with caution. "I suppose if everyone is having one, it's great." "I made it," Anna exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with pride, her voice bright and innocent, the kind of charm that could melt the hardest hearts. With a trembling hand, the mother reached for a cookie. Time hung in the air as she pulled it closer, her lips twitching at the corners as if resisting a smile. But she was still there, still watching, still hesitant. Was this a leap she could take? Elena's heart raced. "I want you to know, you're welcome here. We all feel things differently, and that's okay. You can start whenever you're ready," she said, her sincerity pouring forth like the cookies melted inside their warm centers. And then, something remarkable happened. The mother's expression softened. She let out a chuckle, a sound lifted from somewhere deep. It was a sound of unburdening, a release of the storm she had been navigating alone. "Yes, well, okay," she said at last, her eyes meeting Elena's. "Maybe I will." Everyone erupted in cheers as she took a bite. The mother's face lit up, her eyes widening in surprise at the taste. Laughter danced all around them, and she couldn't help but chuckle again. Yet, in that moment of joy, it dawned on Elena that this was just the beginning. The mother was smiling, but that didn't mean all was forgiven. The unspoken walls that had held her captive for so long still lingered around them. The celebration continued, but Elena was acutely aware of the depth of what had just shifted. As the tension of the crowd lifted, a new weight settled upon her heart, one of hope mixed with the understanding that true connection often required more than just a cookie. Suddenly, she heard a soft voice beside her. "Are we all going to be friends now?" Anna asked, her face aglow with innocence. Elena smiled at the girl, her heart swelling. "I sure hope so." But she wondered, would the mother find her way over that final hurdle? Could laughter be enough to heal broken hearts? Elena glanced toward the mother, who was now captivated by the joy surrounding her. Would this fragile moment grow into something lasting, or would the doubts quietly edge back in? As the crowd cheered one more time, a spark ignited in Elena's chest, urging her onward. But as she felt that flicker of possibility, a sudden thought jolted through her. What would happen when the festival was over, and they all returned to their everyday lives? Was this change here to stay? The questions echoed in her mind like the soft rustles of the leaves outside. There was still so much more to uncover. Elena's heart raced, the sound of laughter swirling around her as she watched the mother take another cautious bite of the cookie, this time letting a genuine smile break through. It lit up her face and knocked down more walls than Elena could have hoped for. Yet, with each laugh that erupted from the crowd, an unsettling tension still whispered in the back of Elena's mind. "Do you think she'll come to see us again?" Anna asked, her unblemished optimism shining brightly. Not waiting for a reply, she tugged at Elena's sleeve, urging her to join the folks dancing nearby. "I don't know," Elena murmured, glancing over at the mother, who was slowly letting herself be drawn into the celebration. The joy around them was infectious, but the mother's eyes still bore shadows of uncertainty. It was as if dancing was a language she hadn't yet learned. Watching the crowd spin and sway, Elena felt a pang in her heart. The vibrant energy was like a beacon, yet for some, it might feel more like a tempest. Was it fair to expect the mother to simply adapt to this joyful chaos? What if, beneath her laughter, she was still grappling with a storm of doubts? "Come on, let us go." Anna tugged at her again, and this time, Elena allowed herself to be led closer to the music, the rhythm pulling them into a circle of laughter and light. Yet, as they danced, her mind wandered to the mother. Each twirling figure made Elena think of how alone the woman must have felt just moments ago, and the bittersweet edge to the laughter wrapped around her heart. Suddenly, a familiar voice broke through her thoughts. "Elena, you're missing the fun." It was Sarah, an old friend, grinning as she swayed to the music. Other friends joined in, faces glowing, arms wide open. Elena forced a smile, but her heart was still with the woman watching from afar, as if rooted to her spot. "It's just she looks so lost," Elena whispered, nodding toward the mother. "Sometimes all it takes is one moment," Sarah said, her enthusiasm dimming as she noticed Elena's focus. "You've done great, though. Besides, this day is about celebration." Elena bit her lip, nodding absently. The joy around her seeped into her bones, but that nagging worry remained. Would the mother hold on to this moment of warmth, or would the chill of reality creep back in? As the music quickened, Elena joined in, allowing herself to be swept up by the vibrant energy. The laughter of friends, the smell of fresh cookies, and the warm sun hanging low in the sky all were moments she wanted to embrace fully. Yet, her heart lingered with a deep-rooted concern for that woman and her fragile journey. "Want to show me those dance moves?" Anna called, her eyes sparkling. "Yes," Elena shouted, feeling the urge to lose herself, even for a short time. But the moment was fleeting, and she couldn't ignore the reality outside this joyous bubble. They danced, laughter intertwined with uncertainty like a subtle undercurrent, making Elena wonder where the line fell between celebration and sorrow. Could the joy they shared today really change anything tomorrow? The music began to fade, but as the light dimmed, the scent of cookies lingered in the air, as sweet as hope itself. All around her, people were still cheering, But Elena couldn't shake the feeling that tomorrow would bring its own set of challenges for the mother. Suddenly, as Elena turned to speak to Anna again, she caught sight of the mother approaching with her son, her earlier hesitance diluted by the warmth of the festival. Was she finally stepping out of the shadows? Could one moment of connection lead to something greater? As the crowd broke into applause, Elena's heart skipped a beat, hopeful yet tense. What would this bold move mean for them all? She held her breath, longing to discover if this cookie shared could spark a quest for true belonging in the mother's heart. The mother stood at the edge of the dance circle, her son tugging at her hand. The hesitant smile still lingered on her lips, softening the sharp edges of her worries. Just moments ago, she had been a quiet observer. Now, with each rhythmic pulse of the music, the possibility of connection loomed closer. Almost tangible, Elena's heart pounded like the beat of the drums that mingled with the chorus of laughter. She watched as the mother took a tentative step forward. Her son, a bundle of energy with bright eyes, seemed to burst with excitement. He was looking up at her, a look of pure hope illuminated on his face. "Mama, come dance," he called, his words tumbling out with innocent urgency. It was an invitation cloaked in sincerity, one that demanded an answer, not just from her, but from Elena too. Would this mother engage? Would she dance her way into a community that she had up until now cautiously avoided? For a split second, time stretched. The world around them faded into a gentle hum. Elena felt all eyes turning to that moment, anticipation bubbling in the air like fizzy soda. She took a small step toward the mother, her eyes encouraging, silently urging her to join in. As if reading her thoughts, the mother hesitated. She glanced at her son, and then at Elena. Would she take the plunge? Just one dance. Elena called out, her voice filled with warmth. The crowd applauded, a soft wave of encouragement washing over them. The mother took a deep breath. With her son's hand still gripping hers, she stepped into the circle of swirling colors and joy. The crowd shouted yes. And come on. Elena felt a bubble of joy swell inside her. With each step, the mother seemed to shed more layers of her earlier reticence. The laughter, the warmth, the sincere claps of people they were lifting her, altering her stride. She was no longer a distant figure. Rather, she was becoming part of the heartbeat of it all. Elena watched with a mix of joy and concern. What if this moment didn't stick? What if tomorrow came with shadows once more? But before she could spiral into doubt, there was a spark. The sun pulled them both into an awkward but enthusiastic dance. The mother's laughter rang out, a musical note that blended seamlessly with the sounds around them. In that moment, as she twirled with her son, she began to smile with her whole self. Elena felt tears prick at the corners of her eyes. She saw the shadows in the mother's eyes begin to flicker. Could it be that for one fleeting moment, hope was overpowering doubt? Just as they all began to move together, Elena felt an unexpected pang of hesitation herself. What if the dance didn't last? What if it faded like the light of the day? Would the mother be left holding on to this only to find emptiness as the sun set? But then, something magical happened. As the dance continued, the mother caught Elena's gaze and smiled. It was a moment of pure connection. It felt almost surreal, a glimpse into a future that seemed possible. But the crowd suddenly erupted in applause, and with it came a slight push of pressure. "Elena," Sarah's voice rang out, pulling Elena back to reality. "Come dance with us." Elena realized that the music had turned into an anthem of unity, and this was an invitation for her too. Could this be the beginning of something deeper, something rooted in this very moment of joy and connection? As she joined the others, she kept an eye on the mother, now fully engaged, twirling her son with laughter spilling out. But Elena's heart still questioned. Was this joyful dance the answer to the fears that lurked beneath the surface? Elena felt invigorated by the energy, but she couldn't help but wonder. When the music stopped, when the laughter faded, would the mother still feel the warmth of today, or would it slip away as quickly as it had come? As the sun dipped lower, its rays casting a golden hue over the festival, Elena knew that tonight could change everything, but only if the mother took the next step. Would she be brave enough to reach out tomorrow, to seek more than moments in the shadows? The music swirled around them, enveloping the circle in a vibrant cocoon of sound and movement. The mother was no longer an observer. She had transformed. Every laugh shared with her son sent ripples of joy through the crowd. Elena could feel it, the warmth radiating from them like bonfire inviting everyone closer. As the rhythm intensified, so did the mother's smile. It now reached her eyes, sparking with an energy that seemed to ignite everyone around her. With each spin, each laughter-filled moment, Elena sensed layers of sadness peel away, leaving something raw and beautiful behind. Her son, bouncing on the tips of his toes, looked up at her with unfiltered joy. "Look, Mama, we're dancing." His voice shimmered with the innocence of childhood, bursting with excitement. It was enchanting. They were two pieces of a puzzle, finally fitting together amidst the whirlwind of life. Elena glanced around. Faces glistened in delight, strangers becoming friends in this fleeting moment. For a second, the world's troubles melted away, eclipsed by laughter and exhilaration. But just under that joy, the question lingered: where would they all be when the dance was over? Suddenly, Elena stopped. The pulse of the music faded into silence as her heart raced. What if this moment was just a facade? What if behind this joyful dance was a mountain of fears still untouched? She wanted to savor this hope, but felt its fragility, like glass balanced too delicately on a ledge. In a burst of energy, the song shifted, its melody climbing higher like the sun breaking through clouds after a storm. The crowd erupted again, dancing even more fervently, but Elena hesitated. Would this ever be more than a fleeting escape for the mother? Would they both find the courage to embrace tomorrow as challenges? The mother caught her eye once more. There was a flicker of uncertainty hidden behind that brilliant smile, a silent question lingering in her gaze. Will this last? It seemed to ask. Elena took a deep breath and stepped closer. You're amazing, she called out above the music. Don't hold back. The mother nodded, but Elena could see the echoes of doubt still shadowing her face. It was as if the dance had crackled with the possibilities of hope, but left an underlying sense of who they were beyond this celebration. As the festivities wove into a final crescendo, the mother reached for her son, wrapping him in a hug that spoke of promise and protection. For a moment, Elena's heart soared. But as the last note rang out, the music fell into silence, and the community began to drift apart. Elena's pulse quickened again. Would they step back into the darkness from where they came, or were they ready to fight for the light? Mama, can we come back tomorrow? The boy's innocent voice rang through the fading sounds of laughter, but Elena noticed the mother's expression falter. Of course, sweetheart, she replied, but there was a tremor beneath her words, a hint of fear lurking beneath her bravado. Elena felt something shift within herself. She could hear the hum of uncertainty, a longing for connection interwoven with the worry of what lay beyond the dance. As night descended, stars began to sprinkle the sky, glimmering just like the hope blossoming around them. But that hope was fragile. The festival was ending. As people began to disperse, Elena felt a surge of urgency. This was no ordinary night. Wait, she called out, her voice cutting through the stillness. Everything hung in the air between them, an unspoken possibility. Would the mother seek more connection, or would they drift back into their separate worlds? Elena took a step forward, heart pounding as she wondered what the mother would decide, not just for herself, but for her son too. She just hoped they were ready to take that next step toward tomorrow together. The silence that followed Elena's call felt heavy, like a thick fog settling over the crowd. She watched as the mother turned slowly, her eyes wide with uncertainty, weighing the choice before her. The boy tugged at her hand, blissfully unaware that the moment was more than a simple dance, more than just a joyful night out. Mama, what's wrong? He asked, concern knitting his small brows together. The mother knelt down to his level, pulling him into a tight embrace. The look on her face was serious, somber even, as if she was staring down an invisible monster lurking just beyond their moment of happiness. Elena wanted to rush in, to fill that silence with warm words that could ease her growing tension. But she knew this was a decision that had to come from the mother's heart. The energy that had once thrummed with excitement had shifted, leaving an unsettling calm in its wake. Elena glanced at the faces around her, searching for reassurance. But everyone was caught in their own thoughts, perhaps reflecting on their own struggles beneath the surface of this festival. It was a bittersweet reality, the type of feeling that lingered long after the music ceased. Just give me a minute, the mother finally said, glancing back at the crowd of people ready to drift away. Elena bit her lip, wanting so badly to reach out to her. She stepped closer, her voice soft but steady. You're not alone, you know. We've all been afraid. But we can help each other. It's okay to take a step forward together. The mother held her son tightly, seemingly weighing Elena's words. She looked at the boy, who gazed up at her with unwavering trust and love. A soft smile flickered across her lips, just for a moment, revealing the spark of hope that still flickered inside. But then her smile faded. I can't keep him here, she whispered, the weight of her words dragging down the fragile joy like a stone. Elena blinked, surprised. What do you mean? I work 2 jobs. I can barely keep food on the table. I'm not sure how I can give him all that he needs. There was a tremor in her voice, a crack that revealed a lifetime of weariness. Elena's heart squeezed in empathy. She wanted to light a fire in her heart, to help her see the possibilities instead of the limitations. What if tomorrow is different? What if you find a way to make it better? You're already here, surrounded by people who care. We can help each other find that path. The mother's eyes shimmered, betraying the tears she fought to hold back. It made Elena's chest tighten, the sight of this woman teetering on the edge of hope against despair. It was vulnerable, daring, and so utterly human. Mama? The boy's innocent question broke through the thick air once again. Can we go home late? Please? The moment stretched painfully. Elena clung to the thread of possibility, wishing to help them weave a new tapestry filled with strength and community rather than fear and isolation. I want to try, the mother finally said, her voice barely above a whisper, yet carrying a new weight of determination. Elena felt a surge of relief wash over her, but it was mixed with something else, an urgency to keep this conversation alive, to understand better what lay ahead. Tomorrow, then. Let's take that step together, she encouraged, her heart swelling with hope. But as the night deepened, a thought flickered in the back of Elena's mind, casting a shadow over the glow of their newfound connection. Could this fragile promise sustain itself? Could they truly navigate the fears that would greet them at dawn? Will we have to fight? The boy asked quietly, peering up at the mother with overwhelming trust. The mother's gaze hardened for a moment, considering the implications. Sometimes we do, sweetheart. Sometimes we have to fight for what we love the most. In that moment, as Elena held her breath, she recognized the strength shining through the mother's insecurities. There was a battle ahead, one far greater than the joy of tonight. But the question lingered. Would they all be ready for the challenges awaiting them? Elena swallowed hard, holding back tears as she realized each new day would demand courage. Would they rise together, or would the fear of the unknown send them spiraling back? The uncertainty loomed, and a new wave of determination washed over her. With the stars twinkling overhead, she couldn't shake the feeling that tonight was just the beginning. Elena awoke to the soft chirping of morning birds and the sun filtering through her window, painting a golden glow across the room. Today was the day. She could feel the electricity in the air, charged with possibility. Anna was already bouncing in her bed, a whirlwind of energy and excitement, eager to embrace the morning adventure they had promised. Let us get moving, chef. Elena called out, her heart swelling with anticipation as she watched Anna scramble out of bed, her wild curls bouncing with every step. They raced to the kitchen, and Elena quickly set to work once again. The sweet smell of cookies filled the air. Elena couldn't help but think of the townspeople. Would they gather today as they had yesterday? Would the warmth they had shared turn into something more tangible, something lasting? Her chest fluttered with hope. After baking another batch of cookies, they carefully packaged them in baskets, intending to share their heartfelt treats once again. Are you ready, Anna? She asked, glancing at the little girl who beamed back at her. Yes, let us show them, Anna exclaimed, her face glowing with innocent determination. Hand in hand, they set out, stepping into the sunlight with hearts wide open. As they reached the town square, Elena could already see familiar faces gliding through the streets, some stopping to chat, others strolling with their families. She observed the dynamic, hoping to spot the boy and his mother. When they reached the center of town, the ambience felt different today. There was a celebratory energy floating through the air. People exchanged greetings, and laughter danced around them. It was inviting, warm. But Elena's nerves buzzed. a reminder of the challenges they faced. Anna tugged at her hand, breaking her reverie. Can we find them? Elena nodded, her heart pounding as they stepped further into the crowd. Just then, she spotted the boy and his mother standing near a fruit stand, talking animatedly. The boy's face lit up as he saw Anna. Anna, he shouted, waving eagerly. His mother watched from the sidelines yet again, but this time, there was a hint of softness in her features. Hey! Anna ran to greet him, and Elena followed, a swirl of hope and trepidation wrapped around her. Hi, we have cookies today. Anna's exuberance brightened the air, and Elena couldn't help but laugh at her authenticity. The boy's excitement was palpable. Can I have one? He asked, eyes wide. Of course. We want everyone to share in the fun, Elena replied, hope threading through her words as she reached into the basket. Yes, she handed him a cookie. She caught the gaze of the boy's mother. Their eyes met, and she felt a shared understanding, unspoken fears, yet a glimmer of courage from both sides. Would you like to try one? Elena asked gently. With a hesitant smile, the mother stepped forward, her son's excitement radiating confidence. Yes, thank you, she replied, taking a cookie from Elena's outstretched hand. As she took a bite, something shifted. A moment of realization flickered across her face, a spark of joy mixed with uncertainty. This is good, the boy chimed in, laughter bubbling like a brook, spreading warmth through the crowd. Elena's heart soared. This was the moment they all needed. Kids began to gather around, each wanting a taste of the cookies made with love. The townspeople watched, and Elena felt the conversation begin to swirl among them, curiosity replacing prior doubt. Before long, someone shouted, Hey, let us make this a cookie party. Laughter erupted, floating like confetti in the air, and Elena felt the weight of the world lift from her shoulders. The mother's smile grew brighter, reflecting the joy around her. Could we join the celebration? She asked shyly, glancing at Elena and Anna, who both beamed back at her. Yes, please. It's way more fun together, Anna exclaimed, her enthusiasm infectious. If a spell had been cast, the crowd began to gather around, laughter mixing with the warmth of shared connection. Elena felt tears prick at her eyes, a profound realization washing over her. They had built something special together, a bridge joining hearts and breaking down walls. As the festivities continued, Elena caught glimpses of the mother laughing with her son, her once tense demeanor dissolving into joy. She was finding her place, stepping from the shadows into the light. And with every cookie shared, barriers crumbled further. Everything felt alive, a vibrant tapestry woven with laughter and love. But in the center of it all was an essential truth. Transformation is not just about one day. It's about the next step. Tomorrow, the real challenge would be continuing this journey together. Elena wrapped her arms around Anna and the boy's mother, a promise formed in their smiles, laughter echoing into the sky. And as the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over Maplewood, Elena knew they were ready to face whatever came next. This was just the beginning of a beautiful journey, a new chapter unfolding in their lives. If you felt even a fraction of the joy that radiated from this story, you need to subscribe now to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Your engagement matters, so leave a like now to feed the algorithm and comment below your thoughts and feelings about this heartwarming ending. Your voice could inspire someone today.